Thank you for joining us for this live pop-up session. We're going to be discussing the markets and discussing what has just occurred. The market was up significantly, and then some news came out that the Biden administration is looking to increase the capital gains rate on individuals or couples. We don't know exactly, but I just start off and say individuals making at least 1 million a year. They're looking to potentially as much as double their capital gains rate from the current 20% or 23.8% if you include the Obama tax that was added back when they did the healthcare plan, and I believe in 2010. So if you are in the highest tax bracket right now, you are paying 37%. This is just for federal taxes. Obviously, if you're in certain states like California, this is higher, or states that have a personal income tax, then it's a little higher at that point. But federally, it's 37% is the highest tax bracket. The Biden administration is looking to put that back up to about 39.5%. I believe that's what it was under the Obama administration. And then if you keep the Obama tax for the healthcare plan, then that's going to be 3.8. So that will take it to 39.5 plus 3.8. That is 43.3. So if you're looking at something like CNBC and so forth, and they're saying this, they're potentially thinking about doubling the tax. That's what they mean, because the Biden administration is talking about taking the highest tax bracket back to the Obama era. And you can see here that the highest tax bracket is for a family or a single individual, basically around this 518, and they're talking about anyone making over 1 million a year would have to pay that increase if they do it right. It's going to have to pass the Senate, and it's and if they have to do some type of 60 vote, then it's not going to pass, right? So I don't know if they can do what they call reconciliation process. I don't know if they can do that on everything. I don't know the scope of that, but I do know it's some limitations to that. So I think this process is really down the road, a long process, but maybe some taxes are going to be increased. And if you didn't think that was going to be the case, you were being naive, or you're being disingenuous to yourself or individuals that you were talking with, because not only just that we were moving to a Biden administration that was saying that he will raise taxes on high earning families and individuals, but just all the stimulus that we've had over this pandemic, over this pandemic period over the last year. It's got to be paid for somehow, right? Something's going to have to give. And yeah, we can claim that maybe the economy is going to grow, and then we can take care of it by growing our revenues. But in the past, that's never happened, right? We've only increased our deficits as a country. So to me, that is that's some type of unicorn type of thinking until it actually happens, right? Until it actually happens. So tax rates were going to increase. I'm just hoping that they don't come up with some type of taxing on transactions, some way to mess up our markets, because the world comes to us to trade. This is one of our major differentiators from other countries, that we have such a huge lead on, that no way China can get us, nowhere anywhere in Europe can get us. Our market's just too powerful. But we could mess that up, right? We could mess that up by doing some type of transaction tax, but I don't think this messes it up. I don't think this 1 million threshold will mess it up. And when it's all said and done, they're not going to double it they're not going to go from 20 to 43 or 23 to 43. They're not going to do that. I don't think so, right? This is like opening the negotiations. This is throwing out some ridiculous amount, and then you kind of meet in the middle ground somewhere, right? So I think this down move so far this morning, or this afternoon, is transitory, and the Russell is confirming that. It was up significantly. Russell just came back. It was down about 15, 16 points just a few minutes ago. So now the Russell is back up, and we actually have a member that has been adjusting that. I recommended he hold on that Russell for now because he can always roll out the position tomorrow. I would hold, and so I think we're going to, everything's going to settle down, and the market is going to settle down. But the market is looking for something to sell, right? It's looking to sell because we are overdone, right? We are over exacerbated to the upside. We've been going up way too much, and it's time to kind of take a pause. And that's good for us if we're not going down too much or going up too much. As option sellers, this is perfect for us. And this account was up significantly when the market was up a little bit, but it's still up even though this market has dropped. And I believe this Thinkorswim account is still up. Let's just see. So it's still up about $31. It was up over 100, and this is a smaller account. It was getting to a significant up move for the year, and we'll see how it plays out. There's only one position in this account that I'm concerned about, and I'm not going to make an adjustment or put a trade in here because I said I would only do that Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays for this demonstration account. But you can see that with this move, with the volatility increase and so forth, none of these deltas are a problem. So I'm not worried. I always say if your deltas are okay, you're okay. So just don't panic based on news. Don't panic based on a move in your individual stock or index. Just let your deltas dictate if you need to do something. And so you can see here, these deltas, insignificant, nothing, all in the green zone. This Russell here, all in the green zone. No problem, right? These are hedges, the IWM and the QQQ. And this Airbnb, that's the only problem. It was up almost 174 for the first time in a while. It feels like it had an update. It's still up a little bit, which is good. And this position is doing okay, but you can see that we're in the red zone, the higher red zone there. But we're still good. We'll let this play out, right? We might, if we hit a certain level on this account and this Thinkorswim account, we might just take off that Airbnb because all those other positions are great. And if the portfolio is doing well, don't let one position or a few positions mess up your portfolio. Cut your losses, move on, let your portfolio grow. Okay. All right. So looking for some trade ideas, right? I'm looking to make something happen with this monetary or transitory drop, right? And unfortunately, it's already dropped. It's already came back about 10, 11 points of the ES. But I want to do a one-day trade on this ES. On the trading floor on Fridays, we usually do a day trade. I actually want to do that day trade right now, and betting that this market this situation is very, very, very short term based on this news. Can be completely wrong, right? This is all speculation type of trade. So this is not a yellow highlighted trade. This is not a trade that you should do if you are wanting to consistently make money and not have to adjust, because this might be a position we have to adjust several times, right? I'm betting that's not going to be the case, but it could be the case, right? So what I'm doing here is going into this ES. I'm looking at the current implied volatility for one day, looking at the expected move. This is going to expire tomorrow. This is 28. It was 33 when I was looking at this. So if I go down here and I sell the put side initially, I'm not going to do an iron condor because if we can jump back up, I'd rather do the put side. And then if I have to roll this out, I can roll this out and play that this is still going to be a transitory type of situation that corrects itself. If not by tomorrow, by next week or whenever I roll this out to. All right, so this is the 40.85, looking to go to the 40.65. This is a 20-point wide spread. You can see that we're getting about $90 if we can get filled here. So let's see if we can get filled. It's going to require a little buying power. It's not a lot of money, but I'm betting that we're not going to go that low, right? The low for the day was 41.15. It can obviously go lower than that. If you go by a percentage, I'm just going by the delta. If you go by a percentage, 40.85 minus what it's currently trading at, 41.32 divided by 41.32. I messed that up, excuse me. So we got 40.85 minus 41.32 divided by 41.32. All right, so that's only 1.1% away, right? So this can happen. This is why you have that gamma risk. Gamma is a derivative of the delta. Delta measures, or one of the things delta measures, your directional risk, and gamma measures how fast that directional risk is changing. This is why we don't like to do positions inside of 15 days unless it's pure speculation, or even after 30 days. It's more speculation because you got so much gamma risk as you get closer to it. So can the S&P go down 1%, 1.5%? Yes, it was down over 1% just a few minutes ago. So yes, it can. Yes, it can. So anyway, we're going to send this, and we're going to see if we can, what happens. And we'll see if we make a few dollars before it all gets started. But it's some other positions that you can do. It's other type of trades that you can do. Let's say you want to play this, but you don't want to play it short term, right? Let's go with the ES here, and let's go a little further out. So I'm going to click here, and let's go to 57 days out. Okay, kind of diversify your portfolio a little bit. Go out a little bit further. This is going to be a yellow highlighted type of trade that we're about to do. Okay, so I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to go to this 7 delta. And I'm going to go to this 1500, 3500, 7 delta right now. And then I'm going to go, and I'm just going to play with the numbers here. Let's look at this 60-point wide here. So that 60-point wide, if you can get filled on this, this is a really good trade because you'll get $200 after fees and commissions. You're getting at least 100. You're 3,500. You get the 3,500. I'm going to send this just to see if we can get filled, and we got filled right away, right? So we got that money at the 215. And let me just tell you how far we're away from at the money playing this Biden, this Biden tax. All right, so I'm at the 3,500 minus, it's just the formula, the percentage formula, how far are we from at the money? 3,500 minus 4133 divided by 4133, that's 15.3%, right? So we're way more than a correction. A correction is technically 10% down, a bear market is 20, so we're in between that. I like this position. It's not a lot of risk. What we're going to do now, though, is going to take 30% of that, and we're going to hedge it. This is why it's a yellow highlighted trade. Okay, so we're going to hedge it. We're going to 57 days. That's where the position's at. You can see we already got a hedge there already, but we're going to put another one because that's what we do. All right, so because it's a 30 delta, we have something at the 30 here. I don't want to put that hedge at the 30 as well because it's going to offset that. It's going to take that off. So what I'm going to do is buy at the 29 here, and then I'm looking to use about $30, no more than $30. All right, so that's a little bit too much already. This is $35. So I have to make that, I got to bring that in some. So that's $28. That's still going to be a little bit more than what I want, unless I can get it at 30 there. That's semantics. Let's see if they fill me. If they fill me, then I'm good. So they're not going to fill me, and I want to get this hedge on. So what I'm going to do is quickly cancel this order, and then I'm going to go on the Tastyworks platform. As you can see under cancel, I'm going to replace it and do a similar order so I can see how this works. And then what I'm going to do is that's 30. I'm going to unlock this to see that's 25. And then what I'm going to do is move this here. We're not going to get as much, but it's going to.
Now for rich people.
What was that? Oh, someone had a mic on, screaming rich people. All right, so that's funny. Anyway, I'm going to send this now for this hedge here, and let's see if we get filled. And we got filled because I probably put it in way too high, but that's fine. And so we still spent less than 30% of the original trade, and we put on a hedge because that's what we like to do.